Okay, we're all set. Let's get the show on the road. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Pierre, your host. I hope you're all doing great. I know that I am. Thank you very much for asking. And today is an exciting day because finally, I think today and most probably, we will finish this painting. So that's always awesome and exciting to finish a painting. Been several weeks we've been working on it. So without further ado, we are going to go over, like usual, to the computer and we're going to check out what we did yesterday to see how we got here today. So yesterday, what did we do? We started off our day by doing the shadowing of our sperms. We actually did 2 coats of that throughout the day, but I have to admit, for several hours, we have just doing the border, the green border, and the little details that you see, these little stars or these little flowers. It took us more than 2 hours to do these. There are 2 rows of them, the outside, the inside, and I think basically you have a general idea of how our day went yesterday. It was long and tedious. But today, we are not going to waste any time, okay? I am going to come back over here. I'm going to get some gold paint. I'm going to start doing a couple of lines on the side of these little flowers that we did yesterday, or whatever you want to call them. And then when that is done, to give it time to dry, we are going to finish by doing the black outline to the centerpiece. So I am going to get the gold paint ready. Here is some gold right here. There we go. I have the brush that I want right here, and we are going to grab another brush just to work the gold so it has the texture that I enjoy painting with. So I am going to go over to camera number 1 where we will be mixing this together. I'll just bring it a little bit closer. There we go. And as you see, this is the gold paint. And I'm just going to add water to it, and we are just going to blend all this together so that the gold is nice and fluid, yet we want it to retain its opacity. There we go. And it's fairly quickly done, as you can tell. I think maybe I will add just one more little drop of water so it will flow on the canvas a little better. There we go. I don't think we are jeopardizing the opacity or the thickness of this paint. I think this will be perfect. We might have to add paint halfway through, but that's no big deal. So let's leave that like that. I'm going to bring the camera back up. And like usual, we're going to tackle the upper left-hand corner and work our way down because I am right-handed and I don't want to get my hand in the paint, make smudges like I do all so often. And I need, what do I need? I need something to step on to reach over there. So I'm going to go back over here and I am going to use this paint can. I'm going to use this paint can. This will be the little stool I will use, and I'm sure it'll be fine because I used it yesterday, even though it is quite uncomfortable, but that's the way it goes, no big deal. So let's get up there. Right away, I'm going to zoom in. There we go, and I'm going to start doing my golden line. Don't want to get that too close. There we go. So let's tackle our day. I think maybe I'm going to move this camera over just a little bit to make sure that I won't be standing in front of the lens. There we go. And let's go. Let's tackle this final stretch. There we go. This is going rather quickly. That's good, because we do have a few kilometers to cover. There we go. Very nice. All right. You see, when the paint is the right texture, when it's the right consistency, it just goes down as though it was ink. And that is awesome. There we go. Let me just bring this down here a little bit as well. Very good. Okay, I'm going to continue on that top row. Get the hard part, which is just standing on the stool, or the paint can, whatever you want to call it. Let's just get this done. But honestly, if we could finish this painting today, it would give me the whole weekend to figure out what we're going to do next week. So the timing couldn't be better. There we go. Is the camera still following? I hope so. I'll move this over just a little bit and zoom in a little more. There we go. I can't talk too much because I do have to stay concentrated. I want this to be a nice straight line. So I'm basically holding my breath as I'm painting. Difficult to talk when you're not breathing. There we go. Very good. Let's just move this over. I'll just bring the camera over a little bit as well. There we go. Our canvas is 57 inches long by 40 inches high. So it's a pretty good sized canvas. There we go. There, so far so good. All right. I'm going to be a little careful here in the corner because the canvas is slightly warped because of the staples, and the canvas being stapled to the wall rather than stretched on a canvas, or on a frame, I should say. Makes it so much easier to store and to ship to these museums and high-class galleries in New York. I am here in southern France, so okay, let's just pull that over here. Work down the left side so I don't have my hand, like I mentioned earlier, rubbing in the paint. And I'm just going to take a look at the cameras. That's what I figured. I forgot to move these cameras over so we can have an idea of what I'm doing. Well, you have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing. It's not magic. You know what? I'm going to put some music. I think that'll be kind of nice. So these are friends of mine. I have, where am I here? I'm all confused. Let's go like that. So we have my friend Diego on the violin, Jacek on the guitar, and my friend Lucien on the drums. I'm also running out of gold paint here. I'm going to have to make some more in a few seconds. I'll just go down a little bit further and then I'll get my chair because I am breaking my back here. It's not very comfortable. And I'll stop right there. I'll pull the camera back and we'll go over to this left-hand side where we were earlier. Very nice. Okay, that's going kind of quickly, but I'm running out of gold paint. So, I have to go back over here. And make a little more paint. Where's my brush? It's over here. Actually, I'll use, I'm going to stop the music just for a few seconds. And I'm going to get a different palette because I have a gold on gold. Makes it kind of complicated for me to see exactly the quantity of paint I have. So let me just start a little bit right here. And apparently I won't need that much because once I got the right texture, it covered very well. Even though I'm going to be adding more gold to the painting. Basically, I think it'll be just gold within the green, but that might change. Who knows? So, like usual, I'm going to go back to camera number 1 and rework this gold with you guys. It's nothing spectacular, but we do share everything and the whole process of what goes on in the studio. And that includes people showing up to say hello, musician friends who come in and go into my little living room back here and playing live music while I paint. That's always very nice. That happens about once a week, one afternoon a week, or one day a week, one morning, depending where you are, I guess. So this looks pretty good. I am going to just do like before, add that one extra little what is it called? Drop. There we go. One more extra drop of water. I have to think of the word in French, then translate it. And on Thursdays I do my streaming in French, and there it's the other way around. Got to think of my word in English and translate it. But the outcome is always the same. Doesn't change the way I paint, nor the outcome of the painting. So all good. Oops, I'm not even sure I was in the camera range when I was doing that. That's also one of the drawbacks of doing everything yourself, is that I would need like the eyes of a fly where I can see 6 things at the same time. That would make it so much easier. Okay, so where are we at? I'm just going to step back also for a second. Take a look. See what I'm doing. All right. Very good. So for the time being, I'm going to put this can back here. That'll avoid me tripping over it, because I will have to bring my chair to do the lower part, which will be just in a few seconds. I might as well bring that over right here. Okay, paintbrush is loaded. So let's just go back to camera number 1 and let's continue. Once again, I hope I'm not in front of the lens. I guess I should have checked. I am a little bit, so I'll just move this over just like that. Very good. I think I can bring the chair over now and sit down. I'll bring the camera over as well down below. Let's go a little bit further down. That looks good. I'll put the music back on as soon as I get up again. Forgot to do that. As you can imagine, I'm kind of speeding in my head here, knowing that I'm this close to finishing this painting, so very nice, very nice. Very cool. Blend this in, there we go. Now the same for here, so I don't get my hands in the paint. I have to go with the upper line. And this time I will get up just to move the camera down a little bit as we are tackling this lower border. And that will permit me to put the music back on. There we go. All right, very good. Getting near the end. We're on the final mile. There we go. I'll just move the chair over and the camera over. There we go. Okay, this is going nicely as well. I'm kind of running out of paint already on my... Let me rework this here, see what's going on. I guess I'm using more paint than I thought I would. Just kind of bring it all to the same area here. Not that it's a big deal, I'll just make more if needed. I'm just a little surprised. That's all. I'll move my chair over for that final corner. Let me just get the wires out of the way. There we go. Very good. Just going to look at the computer, make sure that everything, we're all on the same wavelength. Okay, double view, why not? Let's start up here. Look at that. 15 inches in one stretch, that's great. I wonder why it's going so quickly. And the paint is like this. Look at that steady hand. Who was saying I was an alcoholic? No, I'm just kidding, of course. Or am I? Let's get this to match right here in the corner. Very good. And let's get this final stretch as well. Hopefully I won't have to remake any more paint for this last final 40 inches or so. Not even 30 inches maybe. Okay, very good, awesome. Great, I'll bring this back. Zoom out a little bit, move the camera back. I'm gonna stop the music. Well, perfect timing, I guess, right there. Get the chair out of the way. Okay. Just want to make sure this is a very thin, long-haired brush, and I want to make sure it's absolutely clean. There we go. So, where are we now? We are about to tackle the centerpiece by doing all the outlines. So for that, all we have to do is get some black paint. Let's make some nice black paint. I'm going to use this one. And I think I have a little bit left from our splattering in here. So maybe I'll make a little mixture of both. This one's already fairly liquidish. So I'm going to use some of this, and I am going to mix it with the other because I do want it to be nice and opaque. It might do the trick, I don't know. We'll have to see in a few seconds. It does seem to have already the texture that I like, so I don't know. I'm going to check that out in a second. So what am I doing here? I am like mixing everything up. I don't even know where to put my paint brushes. There we go. And I'm hesitant because of this brush as well. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do exactly what I usually do when I'm in the same situation. I am going to switch cameras, and I'm going to go to my little kitchen over there, and I'm going to wash my brush with with some soap and water like that, I won't have to worry about it at all. So I'm just going to switch cameras. We'll go to number 1 here as I walk back to my kitchen area. And this should take like about 10 seconds. I have a bar of soap here that I use on my hands and my paintbrushes. And I'm just going to clean this baby up because it is one of my main brushes. There we go. My brushes are my little babies, so I do like to take good care of them. And that's why I have certain brushes that are over 20 years old, just because I am a little finicky about that. So, now let me look at this black and make sure that it's not too liquidish. I don't want to put 2 coats, so it has to be obviously, it has to be the right texture so it can glide on the canvas, and I want it to be nice and opaque. So I think the only way I'm going to find out is by trying it. So let's try it. So I'm going to bring camera number 1 back to its usual position where I can just zoom in, and we're going to do like usual, start on that upper left hand corner. There we go. Okay, so let me just think this out again 1 second. Make sure I do this in the right order. Okay, so let's switch over here and let's try this out. With a little bit of luck, this will work out. Okay, I do see a problem in that it's not going to be opaque enough for when I draw. So I'm just going to add more of this black paint, rework it to make sure it's just the way we want it. There we go. Doesn't matter if I make a lot because I can always put it back in the jar afterwards. There we go. And I'll rinse off my knife here. And I'm also debating in my mind right now about the size of my paintbrush. I am wondering if I shouldn't switch brushes as well. So let me see if I find another brush that tickles my fancy. And that will do the trick. Okay. How about in here? I am a little hesitant. I'm not quite sure. I don't see a brush that would work better. Except this one here, which is another one of my favorite brushes that I've been using for the last 20 years. So I might try that. Otherwise, my first instinct for that first brush was the right one, I think. I'm going to still look at all these brushes. Because even though we are in a hurry to end this painting, we definitely don't want to blow it either, right? Not on the last day. Maybe this brush. Maybe this brush. So I am, first of all, going to work with you and get the right texture of this paint. So let's go back down here. This is the older paint that I had, and this right here on top of it is the newer one, a lot thicker. So I'm just going to work both of these together, and then I'll add water as need be. And that's what I want. I want to get a nice creamy texture, kind of thick as well. I have to find that right balance, that balance of thickness and fluidity. Get this out of the way. There we go. Maybe just drop the water there because it is awfully thick. And that looks awfully thick as well, so no big deal. Just bring in a little bit more water. There we go. And just work it till it all blends in, and then we'll see if we need to add any more water or not. I mean, it will have all weekend to dry. So if it goes on there nice and thick and takes a long time to dry, well, we don't really care. Now I do have this extra little worry of the brush. I am not sure I'm going to be able to control this brush somehow. So I am, again, very undecided of what to do. And I think I'm going to go back to that first brush of mine. This one right here. Okay, so I'm going to try this again. Continue on that first one. There we go. Bring it up. There we go. And let's see how we get along this time. Okay, I'm switching brushes because that one I don't like. I'm going to go to one a lot smaller, softer hairs. And where I can control it, as you can see, much better. Except that it still has a lot of water in it. And I am going to have to put like a little second coat here, which is something I hate to do on these kind of paintings. But okay, so I think I found the right brush, the right texture. I think now we can continue. I'm going to go over to that next sperm. I'm going to start off here, I guess. Yes, much better. Much better. Okay, very good. I am going to go back to this first circle here, where I am going to get this done here. Very good. There we go. Take our time, make sure it's all. There we go. All right. Let's go and work on this one. Get that first line in, then just work the outside line so it's the same thickness. Very good. Okay. Now let's go to this lower guy right down here. And for that, I am going to need my chair to keep a steady hand. So let's do that like this. Again, I'm going to just move the camera over a little bit like that. Don't mean to make you seasick. And I'm going to move the water a little closer. There we go. And I'm going to look at the computer to see what camera is online. Okay. The close-up of number one. Very good. Yes, I love it when it flows like that beautifully. Very good. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Now let's get our last little spermatozoa all mapped out. Maybe add just a little bit of water right in here. Very good. Just trying to be extra careful on this last one because I know Murphy's Law. And this is usually where everything goes wrong or something screws up. So I'm trying to be more careful, more meticulous on this last sperm as to defy the laws of nature. Okay, well, I hate to say it, but it looks pretty good. Very good. So let me just catch up this then, this part here. And maybe right here. This is where I have to be careful, not to try to find the perfect gesture, because we know that perfection does not exist. And very good. Now let's just get the circumference of our green. And for that, I will get another brush just a little bit wider. Like this one maybe. Okay, let's try this. Get it wet first a little bit. Let it soak up a little bit of all this paint here. Get rid of the excess water and paint. Just blend everything in, and then I'm sure that the brush will be loaded with paint and not half water, half paint, which could be a disaster. There, let me just take a few seconds to nice and work everything up so I can get the feel of the brush as well. And that feels pretty good right there. So I am going to step back again just take a quick look. And I think I'll start like usual on this left-hand side. So I'll just move this over like that. And we'll start right here. Just like that. Okay? Now I'll do the rest and then decide if that's going to be wide enough or do I want it a little bit wider. We'll see how the rest goes. If obviously I kind of make it wider somewhere else, I will have to come back and rework on that as well. So I'm going to put the camera on the upper part. And this time I'm going to try to be smart enough and to remember to switch cameras. Because again, I'm concentrating. I don't want to screw up. At this stage of the painting, it would be a tragedy. So, let's do it like that. Split camera. And let's get back into concentrating. Okay, let me just stand back and see what this looks like. Okay, I can see it's a little wider, but I'll worry about that at the end. I'm going to continue to do our little circumference, whatever. Okay, let's try here now. There we go. I could tell right away I had to be wider there, like right here as well. But we'll worry about that when everything is done. I'll bring my chair to do this lower part. Now you can see on this lower part right here, I had left out at least this wide in my mind would be this outer. So at least that's a guideline. And it basically matches what we did before. So anyways, let's get back to that split screen. Okay, so I did use this kind of as the guideline of my width. And I probably will have to go back to the other parts that I did. So I'm going to just zoom this back. Okay, so now let's try to bring everything into perfection, if such a thing exists. which I'm not really convinced of. Okay, there. Move the chair out of the way. And I'm going to go back now and just bring the others a little bit wider so they match up. So how does that look? Let me stand back. Okay, not too bad, just maybe a whisker. There. Now I just have to make also the top a little bit wider as well. Okay, what does that look like? And back. Okay. Just got to bring this in right here. Just like that. I'm not even going to step back. I'm going to move right away to this one here. Okay, now let's take a look. Now I have the shine of the window, the sunlight coming through the window, which is definitely playing some kind of just playing some sort of what's the word? Optical illusion, something like that maybe? Optical illusion, well, whatever. Okay, that's good. Now I can't help myself. Since we did switch paint brushes after we did this first sperm, I have to go back and just add a little more paint because I can see through it. On the others, it all covered very nicely because I had this softer brush. I started off with a harsher brush that leaves paint brush marks. There we go. I'm just going to go over the second coat, which I hate doing. I love when I put down the paint in one whack and it just stays there. I don't like reworking. I like that Chinese, Japanese calligraphy mentality of what goes down stays down. So I try to apply it in the way I paint as much as possible. That's why I often leave, when I make a mistake, I often leave the mistakes in my paintings because, well, nothing is perfect in life. And to rework it so it becomes perfect, well, I think maybe that was fine in the 15th century. But today, really. not that important anymore. At least not for me. There we go. Okay. Taking one last look. That looks good. That one looks good. I just overran here a little bit. I'll just put a little dab of red paint later. What's this? Okay, it's shined from the window. The lighting, of course, makes things look like I screwed up, but in fact, it's just because it hasn't dried yet. Okay, so Operation Centerpiece done. Now, I am going to go back to my frame. And take a look at that. So, I'm going to step back for a second. I'm also going to grab a little glass of water. Or a little sip of water, I should say. There we go. Okay, let me just take 30 seconds to take a look at this. I mean, that's the problem with my last painting as well. I finished it on a Friday. Monday started a new painting. Never even took the time to enjoy or appreciate what we did for several weeks, because the last painting was kind of intricate as well. So I do have to take a few seconds once in a while and just take a look and see what we're doing, because on this next phase, I have I'm just winging it. I kind of know what I like to see, but I have no idea what the outcome is going to be. But anyways, I'm going to move on and tackle this next part that I have in mind. So I'm bringing out my little step ladder, my little stool, which is nothing more than a paint bucket. And I'm going to tackle the next part. So for that, I am going to, again, get my gold paint. Move the black aside. And, yep, okay. I'm going to get the gold paint together. And these paintings, just like when I first started this, this frame was supposed to be black, turned out to be green. These little planets or bubbles were supposed to be orange. They turn out to be green. So paintings evolved as my mood evolves. So, and here I see some gold and just gold. So I don't know. I'm going to try it out. See what it does, what it looks like. And you know, it's going to be hit or miss. One of those kind of deals. I hope it'll look as nice as I see it in my mind's eye. Just reworking this gold paint like before, because like before, when it's nice and creamy and the right texture, just flows beautifully and everything goes faster. So that looks pretty good. Hopefully I have the right paintbrush. I don't know if you can hear this, but my studio is like, I would say within 50 yards of the cathedral in the old town of Nice. And I can hear by the bell that obviously it's a funeral that's going on. It's a very particular style of bell ringing. And I'm not sure if the microphone is picking that up. I know it's done that before in the past and you couldn't hear it on the stream, but To me, it seems extremely loud, which always makes me wonder. So, what am I doing here except climbing up little paints of cans? I'm going to zoom up here so you can see what I'm about to do. And I'm going to stop talking for a second and figure out what I want to do. I want to do basically the same thing, but bigger. So where are we at here? I'll go to the double screen. And I'm going to stop because I forgot to move the camera as I was thinking about what I was painting and debating if this was the right course of action. Like that, maybe. Okay, I'll do that. One or two more in the middle here. All right. Okay, I'm going to go more with that kind of a pattern. Bring this over here, move this over here. See if I can change this a little bit. There we go. Let's move this over here. I'll go all the way to that corner. Just like that. Okay. Okay, let's continue going around doing the same pattern. We will add in between these little whatever stars. We will add more as well. So I would say the center is about here. And I wouldn't be surprised if I was in front of the camera. No, not too bad. Wow. Let me just move it over like that. I'll feel better. All right. Okay, just trying to debate if I can squeeze in two more per side or just one more. I think I can squeeze two. One there, one there. Maybe right here. There we go. And I'll just go a little bit above that. I'll zoom in just a little bit more, like that. Okay. I'll bring the camera and we'll go to the other side now. Tackle this other. I'll bring this even more. There we go. I guess the middle would be about right here. This is where I came up for the middle. And I guess I'll do just two more above that afterwards. So, let me just zoom in here. Very cool. Back out. We'll go up a little bit as well. Try to find the middle. So, there. And there. Okay. See that about here. My painting is all about movement. And I must say, painting these little, whatever the hell they are, is so enjoyable. I enjoy this kind of spiral gesture. And I will be sure to include this a lot more in my future paintings. Forgot to move the camera again. Jeez. I'm going to have to hire a cameraman. It keeps it up. Okay, so we got all that done. Now we have the lower part to do. So I'm going to start again from the left-hand side. And we'll just work our way down to that bottom left-hand corner. And for this, I am put my paint can away and bring out my chair. There we go. And let's continue on this. I'm going to hold this up like this, make it easier. And probably once again in front of the camera, knowing myself. Right? Okay, very good. Nice thing about being here is not only I'm sitting on the chair, but I'm next to the water. which makes everything very easy. Just going to stir everything up a little bit here. There, very nice. Maybe another little drop of water. I'll do it up like this. There. Very cool. Okay, let's get back to our little pattern here. Okay, maybe right here. Very cool. I guess I should have put some music on it as well. I'll do that when I get up. When I get up and stand up. And you know the rest, right? Oh yeah. Now more than ever. I'm happy to say I did send in my absentee ballot at the beginning of the week, last Monday. Got that out of the way. Now I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. All right? Oh yeah. Let's avoid the dictatorship. Okay, where's the centerpiece? Right here, here maybe? There we go. I'll come back to the middle. Find the middle for those two other ones, and I'll put the music on. So, how does the cameras look? Does this really help to have the double? Let's go with just camera number 1. Then I'll add the music of Diego and my friends. There we go. There we go. All right, moving along nicely. Add a little water to this paint here. It's not flowing as nicely as it should. There we go. This should be much better. I'm getting sloppy here. Be careful. Okay, let's take this back. Move the camera back. Very good, very good. Getting very close to the end. I know that I'm going to want to add one last little touch. There we go. Guess I'm going to use this little brush. Get out my little stool here. And I'm going to add which is my palette. I don't even know which one I was using. I think I was using this one. Which I'm going to just work a little bit more, like get it nice and fluid. There we go. This looks cool. Very good. Very nice. Just step back for a second. Get out of the way here. I should worry about the cameras also. Go back up there. Okay. I'm not satisfied with these little stars. I like them, but they're not big enough. So as you can see, before they dry, I just went with a wet cloth and I just erased them. Just like that. And I will get a slightly larger brush and I will do the same thing, but they need to be a little bigger. So I'm just going to move over to right there and we will start again with a different brush. There we go. I think that's more what I'm looking for. Same thing with this first one. I'm just going to erase it. This will be our little secret. No one will ever know. There we go. You know what? This is I'm stopping the music for a second here because this is not doing it for me. So I am going to again go here and erase all this if I can before it dries. And it looks like a huge mess, but hopefully I will be able to save it. So let me get a drier part here of this rag. This was not working out for me at all. Not at all. So rather than continue and be unhappy with something I was very happy with so far, it was a mistake. So what am I going to do? Well, it's very simple. I'm going to do what I was doing earlier. And I'm going to continue those same patterns. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to try that again. Let's go back to this first tier and see what happens now. I'll just step back for a second and take a look and see how this looks. And to be honest with you, this looks like more like something I'm happy with. So, very good. I feel so much better because when you're trying something new and you don't know and it doesn't work out, it's always a major drag, of course. And it throws you off. So I'm just going to step back and take a look. And yes, I'm going to stick with this pattern because it does work for me now. So I'm going to go back to the top here. We're going to add between each one of those little flowers another set of flowers, and I will go back to the music as I feel happier about the whole thing. And relieved. Happy and relieved. Let's go to the corner here. There we go. Just going to rework the paint here a little bit. This is the final stretch. Once I finish these little flowers, all I have to do is put my signature and cash in the check. Forgetting to move the camera around. I'm sorry about that, folks, but I am trying to hurry up. After all, it is Friday, right? Very good. So let's go to the other side now. right, very nice, very nice. Just bring this down. I'm going to go get my chair as well. There we go. Good. Okay, I'll bring the camera over for this final stretch right here. There we go. Just want to rework this paint a little bit. There we go. Just a couple more and we're all done right here, so pretty cool. And let's do this last one right here. Again, not really thinking of the camera, just trying to plug away here. So let's go in this lower corner again, right here. Okay, once again, let's pull the camera back. Let's take a look from afar and see what we have. I will as well stop the music as we move to camera number 1. And okay, so let me just check this out as well, like you, with you. See where we're at. Well, I don't know what you think, but personally, standing here in front of it, I go, wow. Wow, that's not quite what I had in mind since the beginning, but I am really happy with this painting. I think it's beautiful. Quite frankly, if I may say, am I allowed to say that? I'm not sure. Very good, very good. Oh, super. So listen, we're going to come back to this camera. I'm going to get the other camera ready because you know this is worthless without the signature. As soon as I put my signature on this painting, then it's worth a fortune, of course. We all know that. And so I am going to get a paintbrush ready. I have the black paint all here. The question is the size of my brush. I like my signatures to be kind of discreet. I don't like them already that my name, Davis Dutrex, is probably one of the longest names for a signature. Davis because it's my father's name, and Dutrex in honor of my grandmother, who was the first and only person with George Tucker, the painter, to encourage me to become a painter. Plus, my grandmother is also the woman who raised me and taught me French. An extraordinary woman who raised my mom during the Second World War II, during the German occupation. Anyways, I have tons of fantastic stories, but not for today. Now I have to figure out what paintbrush do I want to use. This one, I'm afraid, even though it's really tiny, it looks too big. I would like something more discreet. And is this more discreet? Maybe it is. It's as long, but it's thinner. So, I am going to use this one, I think. And of course, this is something important because I can't blow this, right? There's no second chance. So, I am going to go over here and I am going to switch cameras and I'm going to let it roll for a few seconds without doing anything because, as you might know or not know, with every painting I do, I make a short movie of it, the making of the particular painting I'm working on. So the signature part, I always do it in fast motion so it goes quickly. But when you do something in fast motion, you have to have a long lead in and a long lead out because if you keep it too tight, it gets cut off every time you accelerate the frames. And since you usually accelerate them twice, then that's why you need a longer lead. So I'm just going to switch over to camera number 1. I'm going to let it roll for a few seconds and just leave it on empty and get into the right position for my signature, and then I will tackle that. Just going to make sure I'm in the right spot, that the camera will be able to cover the whole thing, which it will, which means that I can probably zoom in just a little bit more. There we go. And I will probably start it right there and end it right here or here. Will it cover the whole thing? Yes, it will. I'm just going to just move it like that a little bit maybe. So, I guess I shouldn't have touched the damn thing at all, but I did. So, let's see. Something like that. Sorry about all that. And you know, this is what the part that puts all those zeros on that check, right? So, it is important. I'm just going to let it roll like that. There won't be any sound in the movie except for music, so I can definitely talk. And let's tackle this before my paint dries as well. Okay, so far so good. Okay, no spelling mistakes. That would be a drag. Okay, I think that's plenty of lead in, plenty of lead out. And we come to the conclusion not only of today's stream, but of our masterpiece. Very good. Very good, very good. So I'll just take a few seconds to appreciate this. All right, really, yes, very nice, very nice. Okay. Well, two different angles. Two different angles, and we're all done. So, well, there we go. 2 hours and 6 minutes. I thought it would have gotten done a lot quicker, but that's the way it goes. So, anyways, I want to thank you all for joining me on the conclusion of this this baby. I guess most of the time we should like blow the horn of victory. And I hope as well you'll join me next Monday as we map out and start a new canvas. Probably putting the primer coat. The first few days of a new painting, they go very quickly. They're like half-hour streams because I unroll the canvas, size it up, and then just put on a coat of gesso, and then we have to wait till the next day for the gesso to dry. So that's usually a very short stream. But anyways, I wish you all a great weekend. I want to thank you again for joining me on this wonderful venture and the end of this beautiful few weeks of painting on this painting. And I'm going to leave you one more time with this painting. And after that, I'll switch over to my schedule and I'll say, ciao mes amis.